We're going to build a clean, simple line of sight experiment on perfectly flat ground. The key idea is, if all three lights are the same height above the ground, you do not need the camera at ground level. You only need the camera at that same height. Let's draw the ground, 3 poles, and place the 3 lights at 36 inches above the ground. That is 0.9144 meters. Now let's place the camera at the same height as the lights, 36 inches above the ground. Notice we are not at ground level. We are at the same height as the lights. I will add a dashed horizontal guideline at that height. On perfectly flat ground, all points with the same height lie on one straight horizontal line. Because the camera and lights share the same height, the sight line is straight and level to each light. That is the alignment you want to check in this experiment. Here is the clean geometry idea. On flat ground, set the ground as height y equals 0. If the lights are all at height y equals h, and the camera is also at height y equals h, then the line of sight is just the horizontal line, y equals h. That is why the camera does not need to be at ground level. It only needs to match the light height. Let us plug the numbers in just to be concrete. 36 inches is 0.9144 meters. So our sight line is simply y equals 0.9144 meters, which passes through all 3 lights. You can aim the camera level at that height and check whether all 3 lights sit on the same straight line visually. One more practical note. If the camera is set a bit higher or lower than the lights, your line of sight tilts up or down, so the 3 lights will not all sit on the same single straight sight line anymore. That is why matching the camera height to the light height is the right setup. Again, there is no requirement to put the camera at ground level. Summary: on perfectly flat ground, if all 3 lights are at the same height above the ground, the camera does not need to be at ground level. It simply needs to be at that same height, like 36 inches in this setup, so that the line of sight is straight and level across all 3 lights. This makes the alignment check clear and consistent.